we welcome our Warpath community today to an initial Warpath podcast, a special feature that we hope we can make regular to some extent. But this is the first. This is our first venture out into it, and the reason that we're bringing you a Warpath podcast is that from time to time on our social media we will post a story that just begs for a deeper dive. And we did that with our guest today, Raul Medina, who's a Harlandale High School class of 2011. About a year ago, January, as a matter of fact, last January, we posted an accomplishment. And I don't want to steal your thunder, but you did some mountain climbing, and we're going to let you tell us more about that. But Raul's got a great story to tell. When we posted it, over 300 engagements on Facebook. 30,000 people saw the post and reacted to it very favorably. And I knew right then it needed a deeper dive. We needed to tell this story a little bit more in depth. And that's what we're doing here today with our initial Warpath podcast. Raul Medina, Harlandale High School class of 2011. Thank you for doing this with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm excited to share my journey and what I got coming up next.
Well, it's a great story to tell, Raul, and I'd like to start, from the Warpath angle of this. You are a product of Harlandale High School, but you're a product of Harlandale schools that I believe from K to 12. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, I'm born and raised here in the south side of San Antonio, and I attended Adams Elementary for 7 years. I went to pre-K, I think, so it's maybe a little longer. But I went as soon as I could because I was crying a lot with my brothers and sisters going to school already. So that's where I started off. And then I went to Leal Middle School, where I fell in love with football. And then I started kind of embracing that Southside community, that Southside pride. And then followed on to Harlandale High School, where I graduated before joining the Marine Corps in 2011.
And 2011, graduated from Harlandale High School. And full disclosure here, Raul Medina was a student at Leal Middle School when I was privileged to be leading that campus. So yes. Raul and I go back some time. Very, very proud of Raul, very proud of this opportunity to tell his story. Raul, so you graduated in 2011 from Harlandale High School, and life takes you towards to the Marines. And tell us a little bit about your time as a U.S. Marine Corps.
Yes, so went in 2011, September of 2011, so just a few months after we graduated. I left with my best friend, Frank. From there, ended up at MCRD San Diego, where I got my recruit training done. Followed on to be stationed at Yuma, Arizona, and Camp Pendleton, where I was able to deploy to the Middle East. And then I was able to also experience providing humanitarian assistance demonstrations in South Americas for the countries Chile and Peru. So that was kind of like my introduction to South America, where I've now spent a little bit more time with mountaineering. From there, I got out in 2020 of August, but right before I got out, I was able to attend a special school that the Army has in Black Rapids, Alaska. It's a cold weather leaders course where I'm able to learn how to operate and survive in subarctic weather. Which was my first exposure to what I'm in now, mountaineering and being able to go to Denali, which I was able to encompass all of that, all of what they taught me there and use it on the mountain that was actually not too far from there.
All right, well, I'm going to pull you back just a little bit. So you do your time with the U.S. Marine Corps, and then you're honorably discharged. You come out back to civilian life. I remember that your dad had a landscaping business, and I think that you joined him in that business. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. But before all that, I was, in California for a year. I was a contractor for the Marine Corps, where I was able to do some cool stuff with the new variants of the Humvees, which are called JLTVs. But from there, I made the big move to Colorado, where I wanted to get a restart with kind of life and everything. And that's where I got introduced to mountaineering. And now, because of mountaineering, I've had the ability now to move back home and take over my dad's business in landscaping, hardscaping, and tree service. So that's what I'm running with right now, and I'm happy to be doing it here in the community where I came out of.
Well, we'll call that your day job, but
Yes.
You also have developed a passion for mountain climbing. As you say, you were introduced to mountains in your time in South America, and And getting back to that, to the post about a year ago, you had shared with us that you had scaled Aconcagua. Is that
Yes.
right? That in Argentina.
Yes, that's correct.
One of the, if not the tallest mountains in the Western Hemisphere. Is that right?
It's the tallest mountain on the Western Hemisphere, and it's the tallest mountain outside the Himalayas.
And wow, and let me grasp that. Was this your first tall mountain that you were climbing? Was this your first big challenge to climb?
It was my first expedition up a, what would you call it, a high altitude mountain. I have been doing mountains at like 14,000 feet in Colorado and in Washington, but this was about 7,000 and some change feet higher than the peaks that I'm used to.
Well, I had to go back and look at the post. It was at 22,000 feet of elevation, and you did 35,000 feet of scaling, I guess, to get to that elevation. So quite an accomplishment in itself. And, the thing that really, I think that what really captured the imagination of our readers in this community is that through your brother Norberto, you had asked for an alumni coin because you wanted to take a Harlandale alumni coin with you up the mountain. And then when you got to the mountain, you presented the alumni coin in our post. And I think that really captured the imagination and the interest of the Warpath community. Why was it important to you to do something like that, to remember your roots and to remember Harlandale in that climb?
I think it's always been special to be part of the South Side. I think the South Side has a special pride that nowhere else in San Antonio you see. And I've carried that from the moment I left, when I was 18 into the Marine Corps, that everywhere I introduced myself, I always said San Antonio, but before I said San Antonio, I was like, I'm from the South Side of San Antonio. It's something I've always carried with me, and I'm very proud to be from here. I learned to be who I am in most ways with the coaches I've had, the strong parents that kept me out of trouble in the community back in high school and stuff like that. So it's just, I have this deep tie, and I always wanted to represent our community wherever I went. And now I'm able to do that, at a very higher level than just what I did in the Marine Corps.
Well, you certainly have. I can't imagine a better example of that. You're getting ready for this expedition that is, I don't want to call it life-threatening, but it's not an automatic that you're going to get there and come back. I mean, there are some challenges that have stalled people out from getting to the top, and then of course the challenge is to survive while you're up there. And I'm thinking of you, Raul. I need my ropes, and I need my thermal things, and I need my camping gear, and the alumni coin. And I just thought that was very special, as many that saw that post in the community. Raul, that was a year ago. I understand that since then there have been some other climbs. You've done some other things.
I have. Aconcagua was almost a preliminary climb to what I had in front of me, which was Denali. Denali was my ultimate dream over the last few years since getting into mountaineering. Before Denali, I was able to do Pico de Orizaba in Mexico, and that was 10 days after returning from Argentina.
Let's back up just a little bit. Denali, tell us where Denali is. I don't know that we have a lot of mountain experts listening in today. I'm sure they're very interested in the story, but tell us about Denali a little bit.
Denali, yes.
Where is Denali?
Denali is in Alaska, and the last place you fly out of is Talkeetna, Alaska. A little small town that's really just a bunch of tourists that opens up in the summer, springtime, and then there's really only the people who are like to be left alone there in the winter. Mm-hmm. So you fly out of there and you get to one of the most remote mountains in the world, which is Denali, and you land on the Kahiltna Glacier. And from there you start a 18 to 22 day long trip to stand on North America's tallest peak. And that was my first dream in mountaineering. And Aconcagua was that I'm gonna get ready for Denali. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of went on a side quest to Pico de Orizaba because the sense of accomplishment that I had felt on Aconcagua. So I thought about, Mexico, my father's from Mexico, and, how special would it be to be able to stand on Mexico's tallest peak, and also, one of the tallest volcanoes in the world as well. So My friend was up for it. He almost convinced me to do it, but we got it done just 10 days after coming back from Aconcagua.
Wow.
And with those 2 peaks led me to be pretty prepared for Denali.
Well, I just have to think of, you say your friend was up for it, and I just have to think about how that goes. What is it? A phone call? Hey, you want to scale the tallest mountain in Mexico? Yeah, I'm down for that. How does that happen? How does that conversation go?
It's unique. We were fresh off of Aconcagua. I think we got off the mountain January 18th, and my friend and I were in South America still in Mendoza, where we were just collecting all the gear from the team, putting it together, storing it, cleaning it before we got on the flights to come back home. And my friend was like, hey, the flights to Mexico are actually pretty cheap right now. And he's like, what would you think about, trying to do Pico de Orizaba? He's like, I love volcanoes, and that's a volcano. I'd be down to do it. So I thought it was a great idea, but I couldn't fathom being gone for 3 weeks now, summiting this one peak, and that's an experience alone that I still haven't even fully digested till now. And then to try to go do another high peak on another country. I didn't have an answer for him right then and there, but I told him, let me get back home, which was just like a day later. And then I was able to fully go through my thoughts. And that next morning, I told him, let's do it. So 10 days later, we were 10 days from getting off the flight from South America. We were on a flight to Mexico.
Wow! So cheap air flights and volcanoes. So that was the
and a great climbing partner to do it, because this, having him by my side. I mean, he's the mountain expert within the nonprofit that I volunteer my time with. So having him there with me was a huge boost of confidence that allowed me to be able to be a part of all this.
How many people are in an expedition when you scale a mountain like that?
For our group, our nonprofit, we usually take about 6 per group on an expedition. I think we might have seen 7 or 8 at one point, but when you get into climbing mountains of high altitude, having a big group only amplifies the chances of something holding you back from a summit, because there's more factors. People can feel different, get sick in many different ways. So the less people almost is the better. There's a fine line whether it's too many and too little. So about 6 is what we take. But some of these expeditions I've been on have also just been me and my climbing partner, Austin. He's the Mountaineer Director for the nonprofit, which has been a blessing to be able to be under his wing and learn everything from him.
Raul, I'm going to give you an opportunity. You've mentioned the nonprofit a couple of times here in our conversation. You want to give them a shout out? What's the name of this nonprofit?
Yes,
if you can share
absolutely. That. Veterans Adventure Group. We help veterans find purpose after service through mountaineering, skydiving, scuba diving, kiteboarding, all sorts of adventure sports. I just personally like the mountaineering and endurance side of the nonprofit, but there's many ways to be able to support veterans, and we just do it in that manner. And they're the ones that have been able to facilitate not only the mentorship that I need to be able to go do these things, they've also provided the structure in a sense where I can plug in and not have to figure everything out. They already have this process of how to kind of get there.
I know that we have many veterans among our alums and many veterans among the Arlington, the Warpath community. And I'm going to promise them that below this video, we're going to put a link to veteran, give us the name again?
Yes, Veterans Adventure Group.
At Veterans Adventure Group. So we're going to link that group. Anybody that is watching today interested in something like that, maybe we can connect.
That'd be awesome. We have a lot of future projects that I actually will be leading in 2027. So I would fully love the support to be able to help other veterans reach these, high peaks of our hemisphere as well.
And reaching the peaks and a sense of accomplishment and a sense of adventure certainly comes along with that. I want to do a little deeper dive into an expedition. You say 10 days or 15 days is a climb, maybe from the time you're at the base of the mountain to the time you get to the peak. Is that right? 2 weeks?
For certain, some. The shortest week I had was about 10 days, which happens to be the two volcanoes.
The shortest, 10 days.
The short is around the 10-day mark because you have to be ready, acclimatize properly, and let your body be fully prepared for the ascent because it does take a lot. So it's not only being able to just get to the base and just go up. It's everything before that to be ready for the actual ascent for the summit.
So let's say the peak in Mexico, you're at the base and you start your climb. How many days, how long is it before the elements get really challenging?
So on Mexico, thankfully, I wouldn't want to say a shorter peak because it's still a tall peak. It's about 18,500 feet of elevation. And we acclimatized on another volcano 3 hours away. So this one we were actually able to get to the base and do like a 360 route around the mountain and on one day, and then the summit day on the following day.
Wow.
Most people that go for it try to do it in 2, maybe 3 days. So we weren't too far off of the timelines, but we did it in a very unique way where we went around the mountain first, carried all of our gear, made it up the summit, and then descended off the south side of the mountain as well. So we did like a big circle around the mountain while also summiting. So that one was unique. And like I said, that one's the shortest. And the longest I've been on now is 22 days from landing on glacier to off of glacier.
And you have some more. You have your sights set on a couple of other peaks going forward as well.
I do. There's quite a few peaks that I'd love to get done in my lifetime. Many across the world, but being from this side of the world, I've kind of came across this accomplishment with the 4 Giants of America. Completing that in 2025 was very unique, and now I look forward to doing it again in 2027. This time, instead of doing it in 12 months, I look to be doing it in 6 months.
Wow, like the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
The 4 Giants. Name the 4 Giants for us. What are those?
Yeah, so it's the 4 Giants of America are the 2 tallest peaks and the 2 tallest volcanoes in North America and South America.
Wow.
So the first one I did was Aconcagua. Then I followed on to Pico de Orizaba in Mexico. And then we completed Denali in Alaska, where we were able to get the inspiration to go complete Ojos de Salado in Chile,
Wow.
which was the tallest volcano in Chile, but is also the tallest volcano in the world.
Wow. So not only accomplishing or scaling those peaks, but doing it in a year's time. That's I don't know how unique that is, but I know that it's not common and not many people have done that. So congratulations on that accomplishment. I want to circle back around a little bit to an aspect of your story that really drew me to your story, because you obviously have a passion for adventure and mountain climbing and so forth, but it goes beyond that for you. I mean, you asked your brother to connect with me to get an alumni coin so that you could take that up with you. And it's important to not just to scale the mountains and to have an accomplishment for Raul Medina. You share with me some of the story that the things that we've talked about before, about why it's important, how you think that that message can be conveyed to others. What do you hope that others see in your climbs?
I mean, ultimately, I can, if they can get some type of inspiration to do something out of the norm, is what I'd ask for initially, because my thing coming from home is that I was a little bit different in the sense of activities that I found myself in, and I felt not unique, but part of a smaller group of people who thought and acted in those ways. I had a lot of energy and I needed to displace it somewhere, which is why I think going to the Marine Corps was so perfect for me. But everywhere I've gone, whether it's in the Marine Corps or traveling around the world, I sit in these sceneries and I always said, man, how did I get here? I'm just a kid from the south side of San Antonio, but I'm seeing these views, or I'm a part of this climb, or I'm part of this community. I always said that. So again, like I say, when I introduce myself, I'm from the south side of San Antonio. I believe that in when I'm by myself and I'm looking at these sceneries. Going back, I remember who I was as a kid, and I always used to watch like the Discovery Channel or certain sceneries like that had adventure in them, and I'd like to speak to those kids first and foremost, because those kids are like me, and that there's adventure out there that can find you, and you can run with it as far as you can. But ultimately, at large, I'd like to just inspire anyone from the South Side to attack a goal, whether it's mountaineering or a business idea that they may have, anything in the sense where it's out of the norm.
Service in the Marine Corps, a business of your own, climbing a mountain, adventure, the things that you have done, Raul, and that your passion for this, for conveying this message, it resonates because I am also a product of the South Side, and as much as I love the South Side, I also understand that sometimes due to our situations, our horizons are a little bit nearer, and we don't see we don't have opportunities, as many opportunities maybe, to see what's beyond that horizon. And people like you who have gone to beyond the horizon, you share these stories, and they're inspiring to me, and I know that they're inspiring to others. I do want you to commit. I want you to commit to staying in touch with us at Warpath. I want to shout these things out when you're scaling mountains, when you're doing these things. And I know that there are community members out there that are inspired, young and old, that are inspired by your accomplishments and your commitment to doing these things. And I'm very proud of you for what you're doing, and we wish you all the best. Before we close out, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Do you have any parting words?
The last few things that I wanted to talk about was one that we've already spoken about was the 4 giants in 6 months that I'll be committing to in 2027, where I'll be one of 2 people that do that in the whole world. And I did that in 2025, so it's just a repeat in a shorter amount of time. And I look to be doing that with Veterans Adventure Group, and hopefully taking a group with me to all 4 peaks, not just a few in each different one. I'd like to share that experience of summiting all those peaks with someone else, or a group of individuals who can commit to that type of experience. And then lastly, here for the community, I'm trying to build a community where we're able to meet up in different areas, to whether it's hiking or running. And right now we have the Tribe Running Club that goes out of Harlandale High School every Tuesday.
Justice Medina.
Justice Medina
originated that, or he was a big part of that.
Yes,
and that's the Tribe Running Club.
Tribe Running Club, yes. And we were just there last night. It's great work. There's judgment-free zone. We're at the place where it all started for us in this community. Most of us went to Harlandale. And the last thing I'd like to share is the event that I'll be running in March. It's a personal event. I'll be running 50 miles between 5 different towns in Mexico, where my dad was raised at. And that's just to start bringing awareness to my community in Mexico on endurance sports, pushing the limit, giving back, seeing that where someone can leave, be a part of this community in Mexico, where as a kid I was there very often, to come back and give to them, either through experience or maybe even gifts that I can hand down to them. So that's like the last biggest thing that I got going on for the next few months is March 21st. I'll head to Morelos, Coahuila, Mexico. It's just about 3 hours from here, to start 50 miles around Los Cinco Manantiales.
50 miles in one day?
Yeah, it's in one day. Yeah, I'll start in one town. I'll run to the next town, say hi and bye to whoever may be supporting there at that town, because I don't expect everybody to be running with me. But as of now, we already have a decent group that's willing to come join for parts of those different segments between towns. So
all I can say is
to include a 69-year-old.
A 69-year-old is
that is going to
run how much of that 50 miles with you?
He's looking to complete the whole thing.
The whole 50 miles.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, Well,
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's amazing. That's
excited.
amazing, and just an example of how I say young and old, are inspired by your story and all the things that you're doing. Raul, I want to make sure that I get contact information so that I can post along with this video how to get in touch with Veterans Adventures and how to get in touch with you. And I'm going to again ask you to keep in touch with us so that we can shout you out on Warpath as you go through these as you go through your bucket list of accomplishments. Certainly happy to shout those out. And I just want to tell you thank you for letting us share your story here on Warpath. Congratulations to you, all the best, and we're going to keep in touch. We'll keep in touch.
Cool.
This is Robert Villafranca on Warpath. We were visiting with Raul Medina, Honda High School class of 2011, who's doing some great things, and I'm very proud of him. We thank you for joining us.